in Linkin Park and he just made a movie called Mole. Joe, can you tell us something about how the movie came about?
Well, Vincent D'Onofrio met with me. He co-wrote the script
With you?
No, not with me, with Sam Bisbee and Joe Vinciguerra. And it was based on a novel by Eric Bogosian. So he liked my work, and of course, you know, I love everything that he's done. We met together and shared a bunch of ideas, and then he's like, okay, I'd love for you to direct it. So I came aboard to direct it. We financed it and made it. You probably have to ask him, but I think because he originally was going to direct it, but I think he saw my work and also with the music, you know, saw my style, I guess you call it, and then also the way I'm able to connect with emotions and that kind of thing, and just kind of talking about how we capture the actors and the attitudes and the spirit of everything, and how to take a fantastical direction with certain aspects of the story. I think he really liked the way the conversations we're having about how to enhance what's on paper.
I think this story really has a lot of depth. It does seem to have something to say as well. So how would you describe what you wanted to say in a few sentences?
Well, there's a point at the end, not the end, but close to the end of the film, where Jeff, without giving too much away, but he's left with the choice of whether to accept the gun and be the hero in the story, or to not, and not really know what the other thing is. But before that, he says, "I'm not the coward in the woods. I'm made up of more pieces than that," which means, you know, I'm not going to take the easy way out. I'm much more complex than the simplicity of how that guy acts. And then he says, "I'm not stuck, I'm unstuck," which means, you know, with the rest of the cast in the film, these are all people that choose to be stuck in their lives and not make something better of themselves. And he came to the realization that he's not going to do what everyone else is doing.
Talking about complexity, Jeff does seem to be a very complex character. Was it really tough to find the right actor to do the job? Because there's very strong acting from him, and a lot of depth we wouldn't expect from such a young thespian.
Yeah.
So how did you find him?
Well, being in LA, you know, we had access to, you know, most of the actors in town, so we met with pretty much everyone that fit the profile in that age group. And we actually met with some great actors who any of them could have done a great job with the film. But when we met Cameron, there was something really almost magical about him. There's like there's the exterior of innocence, you know, him having that youthful glow to him, but then having that darkness inside of him, along with just being a great actor and having like timing and being able to draw out certain emotions and being very subtle about things. I felt like he was ahead of his years as far as his acting ability, and being able to digest not just the words of the script, but the meaning behind everything. And as a director, I think the most important piece, aside from picking the material, is the casting you do. Because if you cast the right actors, it ultimately means the less work you have to do to explain to them what to do, or else it's more of a puppet show. You know, I think ideally you want to work with actors that can do what you want, but then they can also bring more to the table than just that.
what the movie should be change as you went along and you saw the people activated it?
Yeah, I think you know, there's certain, when you look at this the scene and what you think you want it to be, you kind of notice touch points and premeditate what certain edits can be. But also, there's a lot that happens that could be spontaneous or could be just things that happen accidentally, or something in the room just becomes like the place where you want to move the camera, and it inspires some action or movement. I think you have to have you have to come prepared as much as you can be, but also be malleable with how you're gonna let the scene be the scene. So it's always a balance that you gotta figure out when you're in the moment.
Now, the dialogue sometimes is pretty raw. There's a lot of interchanges between characters that are not very respectful, a lot of swear words, etc. But at the same time, oftentimes it's really funny. Was it difficult to find the balance, or was it something you already had in your head when you read the script?
I think a lot of that was just in the spirit of the novel, the original material. I think there's with Eric Bogosian's writing, there's an honesty that's there, that's cynical, at the same time humorous, but overall it's you feel an openness that you don't get from initial conversations or mainstream films. You know, I have the analogy of we live in this digital world where we put our best face forward. You know, on Instagram, people take selfies. They're like, you know, like they want to make themselves look good. What they put on Facebook, that's what the world sees now. But it's projection upon oneself, and I think with filmmaking, it's, you know, the same thing. You know, people are seeing what people want you to see. You know, so I like this because, you know, even though it's still a film and all that, I like the honest approach to it, where people can let their guard down and play these characters that are uninhibited. You know, like these are people that, like, the approach is like you see someone picking their nose. You know, something that is not out there.
Obviously, you're best known for your work with Linkin Park. How important was the music to the movie? Because, for example, there's also stretches where there's no music at all, and you just let the images talk for themselves. So, how integral was the movie to the story?
Yeah, the music was really important. You know, after constructing the broad strokes of the scenes in the film and how they play out, we started adding the music to create thematic elements to actually enhance the soulfulness of what's going on, and sometimes letting the music take lead in what we do in the edits. You know, there's that one scene where Jeff is going up to the window and he's looking at the poster of the wolf, and that was okay. That's a scene that we got to let breathe because it's like an important moment where he's soaking everything in, and also like thematically with we have with Mal to the security guard to Jeff. There's things that there's music that throughout the film grows, and it grows with the characters. And there's one cue where Jeff has a self-realization. You hear the song earlier, but then it becomes a moment of, it's an epiphany in the story, where he realizes, okay, well, that thing I was chasing before, it's not important anymore. What I have inside of me is more important. And then on top of that, the sound design aspect really played in with the music as well. You know, especially with some of the drug stuff and the heightened awareness. You know, I really wanted to create some visuals that make you almost a little bit sick watching it, because that's what drugs are. Drugs, you know, they can give you this enlightened experience, and on the flip side, you know, you feel a little nauseated from it.
How involved was the rest of the band with music?
So the way it worked,
and the film.
Yeah, so the music, the way it worked was, well, the band, they're producers on the film as well, so they helped finance a portion of it. But then also, um, the music that we used was music that was recorded actually previous to the movie being completed. So I was able to find some music that didn't really have a home in the perfect place for these songs that were chosen. What was this film?
Okay. So some of the music was actually written for a Linkin Park record, but wasn't able, but you weren't able to use it for a Linkin Park record.
Yeah, it was
because it didn't fit.
Yeah, stuff that like these were all songs that we loved, but didn't fit anymore. Yeah. So
So did the songs inspire you to make certain scenes, or
I think
they changed something?
I feel like it was fate, where the music, here's the music and here's the film, and the music was wandering around, and the music, as the film got better, they were able to meet with the film and just like really be perfectly matched up.
So you're gonna go on tour soon. I believe you're doing some music festivals right now.
Yeah.
You may be doing a tour, a headlining tour in November.
Yeah.
How are you gonna promote the movie during the tour? Because I would imagine that a lot of your fans will want to see your movie as well.
Well, there's nothing really finalized yet. There's a lot of ideas of playing trailers and doing some local activations, maybe having some screenings. So yeah, I guess after this interview, we'll have to figure all that out.
Do you already have next projects lined up, or?
Not yet. But once I get back home, I'm gonna be looking at some stuff.
This is the first